Hello, this is TUTOR Think, your favorite channel. I have a new topic here, introduction to complex numbers, and I'll be quick with this. What do we mean by complex numbers? So the little I know is that complex numbers usually are elements in the number system that are made up of real numbers and then a specific number is denoted by the letter I. So this letter I is representing what we call the imaginary numbers. So in simply put, we say that it is the sum of the real numbers and the imaginary numbers expressed in the form a plus ib or bi, a plus ib. So usually we represent the complex numbers with the letter z. It depends on whatever you come across, but we represent it with the letter z. And we say that a and b are the real numbers and I is denoting the imaginary unit. So we can combine this number when we take the sum of the real numbers as we have here. We can represent it on a diagram to form a vector as I have here, and then we call this diagram the Argand diagram. So this diagram is called the Argand diagram. That is what we use to represent complex numbers. So this line is the real axis and then this line is the imaginary axis. So IM stands for imaginary axis, RE stands for real axis. So all real axes here are A values that you can plot, and then B values are the imaginary values. So the complex notation, which is I, is represented by root of -1. So I here, the complex notation means root of what? -1. When we square here, then we have the square of this side, the square of this side, which will take care of this square root, and then I square will give us what? -1. You can continue to square depending on whatever question is given to you, whatever you come across. So I'll be talking about addition and then subtraction of complex number. You can read more about complex numbers online in books and you have further knowledge about this. So the complex number, actually we can use it for a lot of things. I know it is mostly used to solve all functions under polynomials and even functions that have no specific solution for the real parts. So let's talk about addition of complex numbers. So we may be given a function, a complex number z1 equal to a1 plus ib1, and then we have another complex number z2 giving us a2 plus ib2. Now the sum of z1 and z2 is very simple. So all we need to do is to add this to this. So how do we solve addition of complex numbers? So we have here z1 is representing this, z2 is representing this. So let's add it together. So the solution becomes a1 plus ib1. We can put this in brackets, plus a2 plus ib2. So now this becomes, we just remove the bracket by saying a1 plus ib1 plus a2 plus ib2. So now all you need to do is to add all real terms and add all imaginary terms together. So we group like terms by saying a1, the next one is plus a2, and then plus ib1 plus ib2. So we can now add this. This is already added. So we have a1 plus a2. We separate the real part from the imaginary part. Then we can factorize the imaginary notation here, I out, plus I into bracket b1 plus b2, such that if b and the value of a and b are given to us, we can just add them together to have a solution for z1 plus z2. So therefore z1 plus z2 is giving us a1 plus a2 plus I b1 plus b2. So this is addition of complex numbers. So it depends on the values of a and b given to you, and then all you need to do is to manipulate it and then add all reals and all imaginary. So I'll take one example, and that is, let's say we have something like, so we are told to find z1 plus z2, and then we have z1 equal to 2 plus z3i, z2 giving us 4 minus I, and then we are told to find the sum of it. So it's very simple. All we need to do, we can represent this by saying let z3 be equal to z1 plus z2, so that it will be very simple. So I can just say that then z3 is giving us, what is z1? z1 is this, so we have 2 plus 3i, and then plus, what is z2? We have 4 minus I. So now we can just remove each bracket, and then we are done. So we have z3 giving us 2 plus 3i, and then we have plus 4 minus what? I. So we group all terms for real and then all terms for the imaginary. So we have z3 giving us 2 plus 4 plus 3i minus I. So this is giving us 6 plus 2i. So we subtract I, 1i from this, we have 2i. So this is z3. So this is the solution to the question given to us. This is what we call addition of complex numbers. So now you cannot add the real part to the imaginary part. So this will be your final answer. So let's talk about subtraction of complex numbers. So we have here subtraction of complex numbers. We have z1 is equal to a1 plus ib2. z2 is this, and then we are told to subtract z2 from the z1. So we can do that. All we need to do is that you follow the instruction. The instruction says z1 minus z2. They can turn it. It can be z2 minus z1 depending on what is given to you. So let's write our z1. So z1 is a1 plus ib1 minus, now we put the z2 into bracket because the negative sign will affect everything inside the bracket. So we have a2 plus ib2. So now we can expand what is on the right side. We have a1 plus ib1. This time this will give us minus a2 minus ib2. Then we group all terms for the real and all terms for imaginary. So we have here a1 minus a2 plus ib1 minus ib2. So now it will be simple for us. All we need to do is to add this a minus a2 and then plus b1 minus b2, put everything, then we factorize the common notation out, which is I. We factorize it out. So this is z1 minus z2. So this is our final solution. So I'll take only one example under this and then continue. So let's assume that, so we have here the first example. We have z1 giving us 5 plus 8i, and then z2 giving us 3 plus 4i, and we are told to find z1 minus z2 or z1 minus z2. So for this we just have z1 minus z2 giving us 5 plus 8i, 5 plus 8i minus, then what is z2? We have 3 plus 4i, and then we have here 5 plus 8i. Then we can expand this. Negative time this will give us minus 3. This time this will give us minus 4i. So that is what we have. So we group all terms that are real, this and this. So we have 5 minus 3 plus 8i minus 4i. And then the final result becomes, this will give us 2, and then this will give us plus 4i. So we have z1 minus z2 giving us 2 minus for I. So no matter the values of z given to you, you should be able to add and subtract. So thank you very much for joining me. I'll end this video here. In my next video, I'll be talking about multiplication and division of complex numbers. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, kindly do. My name is Daniel, and see you in my next video.